How's it going?
Alright.
Good? Alright. So, what I need you to know is that I am on a lot of cough syrup. So, I'm thinking that's going to make the feature amazing, personally. So, let's hope for that. I think I'm going to go on rants, but we'll see. I think I'm just going to start off with a poem. How do we feel about that? Alright. I'm going to do an old one, and then I'm going to do a bunch of newer stuff, I guess. So, tonight, you have all been officially invited to a writer's block party. Where your critics, they never make the guest list. See, this is where artists come to drop their inhibitions and reclaim their imaginations. It's where I creatively battle these inner demons. I have been doorbell ditching all of my life. This pen, it's more than a coping mechanism. My tongue, a nail gun in the coffin of what has already been done. I clutch poems so tightly in my fists that they become a pair of Pandora's boxing gloves that are someday gonna set me free. And if I could transform calluses into contact lenses, I might actually survive this life. A dream catcher in the rye, born in the year that lightning left stretch marks across the sky, and it took lighting these eyelashes on fire one summer to realize that they are long fuses attached to fireworks shows. This is for all my stereotypos. You and I, we've always had that Siamese twinkle in our eyes. It is where hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil monkeys were given headphones, kaleidoscopes, and microphones. This is where artists come to break breadcrumbs together. Where being human meant finding the warmth inside my fallopian tube amplifiers. Some nights I would spike my veins with turntable needles and could almost feel God. Drop dreidels into breakdance circles while a DJ with good table manners rocked the Last Supper tonight. It's the most alive I have felt in years. And I come here to remember what it is I still believe in. Every day it gets harder to stay a dreamer, and my mother, she reminds me that all I've ever wanted was to grow up to be my own person. So if the kids I grew up with could have seen the 7 deadly censorships I smuggled inside my notebooks, I could have been voted Word Playmate of the Year. Instead, yearbooks and firewood, they burn on till morning. I have learned that even the most beautiful mermaids, they sometimes get buried in sardine cans. That my heart, it is a suicide bomber disguised in skin, and that some days I am a 2 Rubik's Cubes in my coffee kind of person. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I plan on scattering my own ashes before I die. This is a writer's block party, if only in my imagination, a place where the gods aren't crazy, a place where hummingbirds, they won't catch laryngitis from their cages, a place where calluses, they transform into contact lenses, and Pandora's boxing gloves are someday gonna set me free.
Yeah.
Woo! Feeling good. All right.
You want a throat lozenge?
I do want a throat lozenge. Then I'll have no voice though. Does anyone have any strange fears in here?
Old people scare me.
Old people scare you? They scare me too.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't like triangles.
Triangles?
When someone listens to my heart and taps out that beat, it makes me think it's gonna stop. And that freaks me out.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Strange. I like it. Well,
Maybe my nightmares will just take over.
Single shoe on the freeway.
yeah, I wouldn't like my nightmares to do that. That would be all bad. What was yours?
Single shoe on the freeway.
Where is the other shoe? Fair enough. This is for anyone who has ever been afraid of cotton balls. There are people like that. I've known a few of them. Tonight, I'm sitting under a lamp at the edge of the earth, writing myself into a free fall. You see, collagists, they should never run with paper shredders because it just might reveal the whole story to anyone who is really looking. I've got spiders working overtime as Buddhist monks, weaving mandalas into the cracks of my heart's condemned building. I have got a chest filled with fire escapes, but I'm learning to light up inner peace pipes in no smoking sections. You've become my smiles chiropractor, the hangnail that keeps my memories from screaming. I visit flowers on their deathbeds to perfumigate my skin of your scents. I have no role model for a relationship. I've asked my father to extend olive branches over martini glasses so he wouldn't waste a good gesture. Watch my mother's back snap in the wind with the peacefulness of a prayer flag when the weight of the world became too much to bear. I know that bombs, they only turn the sky into a sonogram so that the next generation may do things different. Still, the closest I've ever come to love is two praying mantises pouring ketchup over each other. Yeah. I've had lovers that would call out my name, but not without checking my underwear just to be sure, and exes whose letters made me want to play 9 innings of mailbox baseball sometimes. I think you've been given that thankless task of plucking I love you nots out of voodoo dolls. This is for anyone who has ever been afraid of cotton balls. Because in a world of sharp edges, I understand how the softest thing you have ever touched can scare you to death.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear a dirty haiku?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Hell yeah!
All right, maybe.
I don't want to hear anything other than
Especially with that.
You just want to hear a dirty haiku? I don't know if I have that many dirty haikus. I have a lot.
just one.
Just one?
Just one. What's your name?
My name's Kim. What's your name? Hey, Crystal. All right. Let's see what I want to read. You guys like Ron Jeremy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right.
He's too hairy.
He's too hairy? Yes, he is. Ron Jeremy should retire. Even his scrotum has a double chin. How do we feel about hookers?
Love them.
Good. All right.
Totally necessary.
I'm glad you love them. Okay. Daisy Dukes will prevent camel toe from spitting at other hookers.
Woo! Yeah.
I'll be here all night. There's more to come. Oh shit! Which poem to do? All of them. This one's newish, and I'm kind of feeling it, so I'll do this one.
Yes, newish shit.
You could probably do it with me, Sam. You've heard enough. There were days when I shoplifted oxygen and dreamed of transforming my iron lungs into Led Zeppelins. Nights I made it to the bar just in time for my second job as a cocktail napkin novelist. Moments I wanted a middle finger for a hood ornament, and even though I respected a pigeon's need for artistic expression, hated that my car was their canvas. There were nights I lip-synced orgasms. Days I prayed I wouldn't die by butter knife homicide. This slow death that occurs while spreading traffic jams across toast in the morning. Tonights I boarded up my heart in anticipation of hurricane season and started alphabetizing my exes. Yesterday, I got pulled over for a speeding ticket, and all I could hear in the back of my head was Hunter S. Thompson screaming, "Make the bastard chase you." Tomorrow, my vices, There'll still be bone-picking vultures, I promise. I'll hire a mechanic to work on my motor skills so I don't burn bridges into tightrope walks of shame. Sometimes I feel like I am at that place where gold medalists join the ice-capades. But I guess that's just a funny way of saying that I am a groundhog who has been afraid of her shadow boxer for too long. When I die, nail me to a kite so that I can find the perspective of tennis shoes hanging from telephone lines. If you ever take off your headphones on an airplane and listen closely to the safety demonstration, you'll realize that the flight attendants are really on to something. You have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first. If you ever want to help other people, remember to breathe.
Yeah!
Fuck you, day-to-day life. I'm gonna write a poem about you, you bastard. All right, do we have any Jimi Hendrix fans?
Yeah.
I don't know if wait, do I want to do this poem now or a different poem? Let me do a sad poem and then let me do a Jimi Hendrix poem. Is that cool?
Cool.
Yes.
Okay. How am I doing on time?
You're good.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Do I want to do another dirty haiku first?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, all right then.
Do the bat mitzvah one.
Oh. Spin the dreidel, where nice Jewish girls learn to circumcise with braces. Yeah.
Favorite. I love it.
Bad touch. It's all right. It's all right. What next? Oh, I've got so many. Let's see. Sex with homeless man. If the shopping cart is rocking, don't come knocking. 2 people? Yes, okay. All right. Oh, cough syrup. All right, here we go. Yeah, okay. Some say dragonflies are really hummingbirds. Turn burn victims in the sun. That there are these moments in life that transform us forever, and she believes that there is a God who accepts drunk dials at 4 a.m. She sings the blues to dial tones in the key of dog whistles and silence. It's been 2 years since she tore her weathered veins in two and threw the seasons out of whack. Painted her suicide note in the style of Jackson Pollock and bled rose petals into the bathtub death. Let your trigger finger caress a hummingbird's throat. Sing the blues in the key of tears that transform main arteries into rain gutters. The doctors, they ripped a red vein from one arm, a blue from the other. This is how you hotwire a heart. How was she to know that heartstrings and surgical masks would be her tin can telephone to God? There are days she says thank you for never train dodging the track marks on my arms. My arms, they're trying to be a runway for lost birds. Her boxing gloves are no longer corsets. Her boxing gloves are corsets she must unlace in order to breathe, to scream. That dying is a storyteller's art, and she is forever transforming, no longer a ward of the state, but a product of a foster care system where she learned a Kama Sutra of fetal positions to cope with grown men pedophiling their nails on her skin, proof that roach motels, they have little in common with heaven but her screams. They are long locked away in the black boxes of airplanes. Someday we're gonna open an unlucky rabbit's foot farm for all the throwaways. But baby, you are not a throwaway. This was just a beautiful mistake. You have been a guide to recognizing my saints. And the other day we watched this documentary about people who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, cars ditched in parking lots, never to return home again. She said the idea of dragonflies spiraling out of the sky, it was no longer romantic. She wonders if they ever found heaven in their descent into the Pacific Ocean. She is no longer a burn victim, mistaking gauze for thick skin. Now, just a phoenix rising out of the ashtrays of this existence. And I am still an artist with a janitor's brushstroke who hopes to someday do her justice. Her boxing gloves, they are no longer corsets. She is free to breathe, to scream. Every day, I am transforming my scars into skylights. Thank you.
Yeah.
Home it is. All right.
Yes.
Do we have Jimi Hendrix fans?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, thank goodness. All right, well. Good call.
Yeah.
Good song. All right. A love letter from your 1961 Fender Stratocaster. Dear Jimmy. Fuck that, that wasn't right. Let me do it better. That wasn't it. A love letter from your 1961 Fender Stratocaster. Dear Jimmy, I miss your fingertips. Our hearts are forever two trapeze artists reaching for each other in midair. I can still remember the first time we met. Eyes illuminated the way the DJs get romantic about their record collections. The first time you touched my strings, your fingers, they felt like gymnasts, backflipping on sunbeams. And I could hear the feedback of the audience screaming, Hendrix, you played, until the veins in our hearts would vibrato. Jimmy, you were an orgasmic Michelangelo, twisting nipples into decibels, hitting notes like a sniper with a kaleidoscope, bending my strings in the key of G so the crowd could hear me moaning, feel the speakers shaking. Every night we practiced synchronized spooning. When you firewalked across my fretboard with embers for calluses, you gave back massages that would rival any six-handed Hindu god that would cause the hairs on the back of my neck to give a standing ovation. But legend has it that if you stay on the road long enough, you will be able to read the tea leaves in the tears of a gypsy sometimes dreams. They are mechanical bulls. The record label, it always wanted to fit this square Pegasus into a pigeonhole. In every band we ever played in, I played the love triangle, the tour bus. It was a Spanish caravan of smoke that we pushed through the deserts when we were broke and living off a strict diet of dusty records, and I loved you through all of it. So don't mess with me. I have a plaster caster's memory when I discovered that groupies were just magic lamps who did your bidding, even when you threatened to rip my ear off during sex. I said, that's just the artist in him. Before the allure of psychedelics, you self-medicated with music. At nights, I would watch you scrubbing at the sky, screaming out, damn spotlight. The doctors, they told you to take 2 time capsules and call them in the morning. Sometimes I wondered if God should have spared you that lightning rod and spoiled this child prodigy. Jimmy, I have built you. a montage mahal of memories. Your death, it came dressed in a wrecking ball gown. Broke my heart into a million masterpieces, watched it crack in 5 octaves. When they burned you to ash, I scattered your phoenix. I wish you would come back. Rip this wasp's nest from my chest with the charisma of a bee charmer. If you could only charm death, because I miss your fingertips. Our hearts are forever 2 trapeze artists reaching for each other in mid-air. Little more dirty haiku?
Yeah.
Yep.
Real dirty. Couple minutes left.
Real dirty. A couple minutes. For like a short poem and some dirty haiku? Okay. Okay, let's see. Jerking off with jelly donuts. Poor man's version of period sex. Alright, keeping it in the family. Had wheelchair sex. Forgot to put the kickstand down. Grandpa will be missed. Was there another one? Wah wah. It's not incest. Who needs masturbation when you're a Siamese twin? Ouch. Alright. So, I don't know. This poem's pretty new. It's kind of weird to do it just because of everything that's going on in Egypt, but I actually wrote it when I went to Egypt a couple years back, and it's about,
It's okay, we don't keep up with current events.
Okay, good. Well, so, yeah, it's a little more lighthearted than all the events that are going on, so, but it's new, and I think I want to read it. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
New shit. New is the best.
New is the best. I caught a midnight flight to Cairo in time to hear the afternoon prayers ricocheting through city streets and off of Arabic Coca-Cola signs.
Nice.
Hookah smoke rose like fighting cobras. Scarabs rolled the sun over sand dunes and into the darkness. In the bazaar, men offered me camels for my hand in marriage. 200, 500, 1,000 camels for my hand in marriage. One man said I have the eyes of an Egyptian. I told him eyeliner is an excellent liar. And he asked me why I'm not married yet. I said there aren't enough camels in all the world. Thank you guys. I think that's my set.